What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. It's the first one of 2023. Happy New Year to everybody. In case you can't tell, I'm on fire. It's been that way, but that's the great thing. It can stay that way. We're happy. It's a new year. It's a new day for a lot of people. A lot of people hit you with that new year, new you shit. Nah, forget that mess. Listen here. Here's what you need to know. It's the new year. It's going to be the same you, but hopefully, last night, that last hour before the ball dropped, you went and dropped a deuce in the toilet. And I'm going to tell you why. That way you leave your bullshit in last year and this year. We're all about moving forward, new things, and doing more things. That's what it's about, is growing and showing everybody what's up. So at any rate, guys, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here. Let's get it kicked off. If anybody's got any comments, anything they want to say, we're going to do it to it. Oh, man, I got to adjust my settings because I had to set some things up a little different when we did this live show the other night. There was a wrestling show that we worked, and they wanted to broadcast live, so we did what was asked of us. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Look at that. Now we got the background on. We got everything set up. So I've been gone a couple weeks. Truth be told, I ran out of space on the podcast program. So everything I would have said on here would have been just for all you people and not for the people who download the show around the world. But at any rate, I also have been going through a lot of things here at the house, and I've been busy as hell. So that was it. Oh, last night was lit. Oh, well, awesome, Mayhem. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad y'all had a good time. Too busy to get out. Dude, I swear to God, it feels like I work 21 hours a day. I literally just walked in the door. Y'all can't see up there's drywall dust, a little bit of blood, and some other, oh man, look, there's a mess on my shirt. I literally just walked back in the door from doing a side project. You get a phone call, somebody needs some help, you're going to take care of them. That's just how you do things. That's called being a man and doing what you can to help your fellow man out. So Friday night, y'all, we're just going to go ahead and talk straight Friday night. Friday night, SmackDown was live. And the big news was that Cena came back. The crazy thing is Cena pinned Reigns. The other return we had was Charlotte Flair dethroning Ronda Rousey. Man, you had Uncle Howdy attack Bray Wyatt. It's like, dude, there was so much going on. That show was busy as hell. I did make a kind of bold prediction about that show, and I don't know if it came true or not. I haven't gone to check any of the ratings. Normally I have that stuff, matter of fact, hell, I'll do it now. Because I know who to look up because they're going to tell me the correct ratings score for that. But believe it or not, in my book, I predicted that this show would break 3 million in ratings. Let's see here. There he is. Let's see here. WWE's YouTube, highest rated matches. SmackDown looks like it broke. Well, okay. Well, it was predicted to break 2 million. I wonder if it broke, or 2.5 million was his prediction. I predicted 3, but I don't actually see the actual ratings that came out yet. I guess because the holiday weekend, they haven't happened yet. So, it is what it is. But what's crazy is you had the conflict between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt gets his ass beat by Uncle Howdy. What I believe this is Uncle Howdy is beating him to kind of set him up to say, listen, you can't go into this weak-hearted. You can't go into this kind. You got to go into this evil in order to be victorious over LA Knight. So I kind of like the little twist here. I kind of like the evil twist. The evil puppet master, if you will, is Uncle Howdy. And he's trying to spin up Bray to make Bray do more dastardly and bastardly things. I think it's going to be awesome. I am looking forward to the Pitch Black match, but I'm also looking forward to drinking Pitch Black Mountain Dew. That was my favorite growing up, and I'll probably drink some. I don't drink soda very often. Normally, the only time I'm drinking soda is when I'm drinking liquor. So, and that's not very often at all. I don't drink very often, period. Just not a big drinker anymore. I was when I was about 15, 16. I'm not now in my, late 30s, mid to late 30s. I'm not a big drinker. Um, and yeah, I am that old without that much gray. So that's cool. Ronda Rousey defeated Raquel Rodriguez in a women's title match. Charlotte Flair returns and defeats Rousey to capture the women's title. I'm so confused as to why they did it this way, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I feel like having Charlotte as the heel is going to do better than having Ronda as the heel. Charlotte can take the loss to anybody. Ronda Rousey can't take an L to anybody. It's got to look specific. It can't look generic. She can't have a standard win loss ratio like the rest of them. And hell, she could be done for after this. She could realistically be done. This could be game over after this for Ronda. She may hang around, might do a couple big matches, a Brock Lesnar contract. I'm okay with that. I am way okay with her having a Brock Lesnar contract. I don't need to see her every day because she's not that great in the ring. But you want her because she's a marquee name. She can be a draw. That's where people get it twisted. Seeing her every week is worthless to me. Give me the ones that we love to see every week. The Liv, the Baileys, your Dakotas, your Eos, your Alexa. Give me the ones I love to see every week. But the ones that don't, you can keep them off. We don't need them. They don't need to be on TV every week. That's just how it is. Braun Strowman challenged Gunther for the IC title. It was thrown out. I mean, it was just a crazy matchup. And then I don't know how bad Gunther got busted open by that chair, but I need to check. I want to see it. They're not showing much. They're not revealing much on that, if you didn't notice. So Gunther was supposed to move further away. Ricochet did the right move, the same way that everybody's done it for 30 years that we've been watching. He did the same move the same way, the way it was supposed to be delivered. However, Gunther didn't get his ass out of the way fast enough and caught it right on the back of the head. And I can tell you one thing, having stitches or staples right here on the back of your head is very uncomfortable. It is not okay. Thankfully, he doesn't have as much hair as I had back then. What we got here? Brett Smith chimed in to say, I love the groundwork and the holds in the Ronda Rodriguez match. Dude, exactly. Exactly. They were able to do way more with that matchup than they would have anybody else. I feel like Raquel Rodriguez is super underrated. Does she deserve the title yet? I don't know about that. But with time and with getting that style down, I think she's going to be awesome. I think she's going to be what we're dealing with for the next 5 to 10 years. We may have another 3 to 5 of Charlotte, but we're going to have another 5 to 10 of Raquel. Because she's in shape. She looks great. She looks the part. She can work the mic. She can work the crowd. Her trick right now, believe it or not, what's been kind of her holding her back a little bit has actually been her crowd response and working the camera. That's been what's held her back just a little bit. It's not terrible. And it's growing. She's growing. She's doing great. Dude, yep, me too. I agree. Yeah, and she does look good. Yeah, see what I'm saying? She's a powerhouse looking woman too at that. But she's got a marketable face. She has a beautiful face. So she's going to be marketable. And a lot of people miss the fact of this. You can be the greatest worker on the planet, but if you don't have a halfway decent look, I'm never going to be on TV. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Because I don't have the look of TV. The only reason I would ever be considered for anything like this is because I'm a shorter guy. I am a short-statured male. So because of that, if they wanted to put me in there in a non-imposing role, interviewer, backstage, whatever, then maybe a little bit, maybe. But beyond that, no, I don't have the look for it. No, I don't. But at any rate, she is a beast. No doubt about it, dude. She is a beast, Brett. I agree with you entirely. Then you had, for your main event for the evening, it was John Cena and Kevin Owens defeated Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. Dude, crazy. Oh, wait a minute. I thought so. Cena took out Reigns with the attitude adjustment, and then opened the door for Owens to hit the stunner on Zayn for the 3 count. I must have. Somebody told me different. I got to go back and rewatch this. It's been a crazy weekend. I worked Friday night. I got home at 1 something Saturday morning. And that was working a wrestling show after working a day job. So a little bit of a different span there. And then yesterday being New Year's, I was just busy all day. Or New Year's Eve, I was busy all day back and forth with promoters and talent. And just, when I tell you I work, I work. When I tell people that, like this is the most relaxing thing I get to do right here. I get to sit here and talk for an hour or so. And this is the easiest part of the job. I promise. Because I'm on the phone the moment I hit the car daily. Every day. At all times. When I'm on my lunch break, I'm back on the phone. I'm walking. That's what I do. I walk and talk on my lunch. You are ready for the Royal Rumble build and rumor mill. Well, AJ's out. AJ Styles suffered a broken ankle. That's what you expected from Cena? Man, hey, look, I wasn't putting much on him. I wasn't expecting much to come out of that. But I'm happy that he came back. He didn't look like absolute trash. It's him and Owens teaming up is odd. But, it is what it is. I'm happy that he came back and had a decent matchup. Well, that and his bald spot. Look, man, get some Topic or something. What's that shit that you pour in your hair like a salt and pepper shaker like this, and it covers the bald spot? Man, get you some, or get some of that airbrush shit. Wouldn't the airbrush come out with sweat though? Wouldn't the airbrush come out with sweat? I need somebody who's been bald. I need somebody who's been bald that can tell me. I've got a hell of a head of hair. I've not been bald. So, like, does that stuff come off when you sweat, or not? Like, or would they have to go spray paint? Do you know you could use some Flex Seal on that shit, and it would not come off of your head? But then again, it wouldn't come off of your head. That'd be the problem. Damn, I don't know what they could do to cover that mess. I don't know how they would take care of that. But either way, good for him for being back. The whole Bray Wyatt thing, I'm super looking forward to. What do we got? 20 what isn't Rumble on the 29th? When's the Rumble? I done forgot already. I done forgot. Survivor Series War Games Royal Rumble is coming up January the 28th at 5 p.m. 28. Hold on. Look at something here. January. This one. Okay, cool. As far as I know, I don't have anything scheduled that day. Fantastic. Yeah, if you're in the wrestling business and you don't have a calendar like this, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Dude, okay, so you've been shaving your head for 22 years. Now, I used to shave mine with a Bic razor or, Gillette or whatever. I used to do that. The problem with that is I had a hole in the back of my head from a 16 penny nail, and when it went, and it was the head of it, so it went in and then ripped on the way out. So when it ripped out, I got this weird skin flap that sits up like that. So when I would shave my head, I'd always nick that piece and I'd bleed like a stuck pig. So because of that, I stopped shaving my head, and I just have to warn people when they're cutting my hair. I got my hair cut the other day, Bare Knuckle Barber Shop here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They got 2 locations, one downtown and one in Drayton Mills. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's badass. The place is great. The lady's a former UFC fighter, MMA fighter, that owns it. She's got them 2 locations, and dude, they got some cool memorabilia in there from when she was running. So there's like elite gloves, there's UFC gloves, there's title belts, there's all kinds of stuff. It's great place, kick ass service. I walked in. Here's the coolest thing. I walked in, no appointment, because walk-ins are available if there's nobody sitting there. But the moment I walked through the door, hey sir, would you like a drink? Because they'll give you mixed drinks. They will give you mixed drinks. And I'm like, Oh, really? No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I got to drive home. I don't drink and drive. I hate drinking and driving. I don't do that anymore. I swear, when I was in my 20s and I ended up back at the house next morning, wake up and look at everybody. Hey, man, which one of y'all drove home? You did. Oh shit. That now you know you got a problem. Now you know you got a problem. See, the uneven spots aren't. It didn't cause me the problem. I think I had a mole or something I would hit over here, and then that hole in the back of my head. And that was it for shaving my head. That would just cause me issues. Yeah. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, it was ouch, but it is what it is. Hey, love wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. There you go. Pleasure wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain because you wouldn't have anything to compare it to. You got to think about these things, guys. Pain is pleasure, or it can be. But yeah, man, Royal Rumble's already huge. They've got a stupid amount of tickets sold for that. Uh, it's gonna be a great year for wrestling, man, and we're starting off great right here, right now. Um, I am highly considering doing something I've never done before, and that is some short podcasts. Uh, so I'm considering a little bit different idea. Um, I'm not going to reveal too much, but how about this? How about this? If I decide to go live, I'll send a notification out going live soon. And you guys, if you guys see it, you just pop in and we'll go from there. Let's see. Is this? Yep. Okay. Ah, I need to. If you're watching, thanks. I'll save that and I will put it where it needs to be. Even that's not today's show. I'll drop that on Thursday. Da, da, da. Here we go. Look, already got it set up for Thursday. Already ready for Thursday because that's just what I do. We prepare in advance for things. But at any rate, guys, what else happened? They did the recap show for Raw. Okay, that's cool. I didn't I didn't get a chance to watch it because it was a recap show. But they had a couple of live events. You had Bray actually wrestle on a live event in I think he wrestled in New York at Madison Square Gardens. But either way, there's so much stuff coming down the pipeline. It's gonna be crazy. We need to catch up on AEW at this point. So that's what I'm working on now. Is trying to get some AEW information up, and then Impact Wrestling actually been doing stuff. Oh, and RIP Don West. You know that's horrible that happened. Hey man, I wish. Hey man, I missed a lot of your show. What days do you have the live chat? I do this on Thursday for the independent scene and Sunday for the televised scene. And I just came on at 4. I legitimately just started at 4. I've only been on for 15, 20 minutes. This show normally runs 1 hour to 4 hours. Depends on what all comes up and how many people are in the crowd, what they want to talk about. I don't give a shit. I just kind of do things until I don't do things anymore, and then I log out. You know, dude. Oh, you're about to watch Rampage from Friday? Yeah, it, busy weekend, dude. I trust me. Like I said, I was working a wrestling show. I think I finally left there at 11:30 at night, and I got home around 1. Or left there around 11:30, somewhere in that neighborhood. Because I work independent wrestling as well. That's why I say Thursday's the indie show for the Carolinas and Georgia markets. Anybody I work for, or if they just reach out to me and they need me to do them the favor, I do them the favor. No big deal. Um, some people want stuff, some people don't want stuff. I don't really care. But uh, as far as it goes, Sunday is always about the WWE, AEW, Impact, and NWA. Um, I always stick with them on Sunday because, and at this time, because when they are regularly running pay per views, Sunday is when it's time for the whole pay per view. They got a pay per view coming up, so I actually get to do the preview show, and then I can go right into their their pre-show, and then log out in time for the pay-per-view, and everybody's happy. So we kind of do it that way. Oh, you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Well, congratulations on your victory from yesterday, right? Didn't y'all win? Y'all won by like 1 point or some crazy shit, or was it three? You might have won by three. I don't remember, but it was some nail biting thing that happened all the way at the end of that game. I don't know. I don't watch many other sports: wrestling, MMA, boxing, and hockey. So normally it's got to have a fight in it for me to watch it, in some form or fashion. Oh yeah, see, y'all won by one. That's awesome. Like I said, I got some friends down there. I work for one promotion, and I helped advertise for another one that just asked me to as a favor. So that was no big deal. Um, I work for Stranglehold out of Georgia. Stranglehold Championship Wrestling out of Georgia. All right. So, in what was actually probably the best match of the night and on the card, you had the American Dragon Brian Danielson versus All Ego Ethan Page. Brian Danielson won that one. Let's see here. You had John Moxley and Claudio versus Top Flight. Uh, of course, Top Flight, you know, lost that match. I didn't like how they did that. I don't like how they are putting these guys against these guys. Those aren't jobbers. They are not jobbers. They didn't deserve that. They needed to be against somebody else, and so did the other team. They could have had two different tag team matches. But putting Top Flight against two of the top guys in your company is stupid in my book. I don't like the booking. I mean, there's some seriously weird shit when that this show does, and I don't know why. I've never understood why, but you know, it is what it is. Hook versus Balaam Links. Balaam Links, Red Rum tap out. Good night, Irene. It was over. Like, I don't get what they're gonna do with this. Are you gonna have Big Bill go up against Hook? Because that's gonna look. You're killing me with the aesthetics here. It really does. That's worse looking than Rey Mysterio versus the Great Khali. And I'll elaborate as to why. At least Rey Mysterio was kind of thick. He was kind of built, shoulders and lats, and his chest wasn't rail skinny. Jungle Boy and Hook are smaller than me, if you want to be realistic. We probably weigh around about the same. But going up against a 6'10" guy like Big Bill, that's just dumb. I stood next to Madman Fulton from Impact Wrestling just a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I got to look up at him like this. Like, what's up, guy? Because that dude he's 6'8". He's a strong 6'8". And he just towers me. So imagine seeing somebody going up against somebody that much bigger, because Big Bill Morrissey, or William Morrissey, or whatever he is, W. Morrissey, that dude is bigger than Madman Fulton by 50 pounds or better, bigger. So it's just kind of a weird thing there with me. I don't get it. I try, but it reminds me so much of old WCW during Vince Russo. Like, that's what it reminds me of. Brett Smith says, booking in AEW is all over the place. I gave up. Dude, I try to keep up with it, but that's about it. It's just weird. AEW Trios Champions Death Triangle versus the Elite. And now they're going to match 7. Ray Charles could have seen that, and he's dead and blind. But okay, alas, here we go. Is the 7th match going to be for the title, and then they're going to win it? Are they doing a best of 7 because there's no other good trios teams? What are we doing here? Like, there's so many things that don't add up with why they're doing this. Is it good TV? Yeah, it's fine. But is it good enough to do another one? And another one and another one and another one. Dude, so all right. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. Let's take you guys to an independent wrestling show, okay? If you attend an independent wrestling show once a month and it's always the same guys, eventually everybody done fought everybody, and what else you got? Well, in time you might filter in 1 or 2 new people. Whereas this is a week to week to week to week to week thing, and it's the same guys week to week to week to week to week to week. What are we doing? Like, I don't understand that. Oh, you think that House of Black is going to be involved in match 7? Okay, all right, Brett. I can go with that. You had Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale go up against Anna J, AS, and Tay Mello, which, dude, can we stop calling people stupid names? They get all over. So many AEW marks, and I'm going to call them AEW marks because that's what they are. So many AEW marks shit on WWE because, they changed their name and their name's fucking stupid. I give it to you with Butch. I agree. That's for. I don't know about the whole Gunther thing. Nor do I care. Walter to Gunther, whatever. I don't know. I'll give it to you with Pete Dunne being Butch, but other than that, that's about. And what's the chick? The girl. What's her name? I can't remember. It's some freaking stupid. But she's got a real stupid name, and she was a badass in the UK scene. But so Tay hit the Tay KO and pinned Ruby Soho. Okay, fair enough. Either way, the names on AEW don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. They're smarks because that and a JAS and Tay Mello, fucking stupid. Stupid. Either use her real full name or get rid of the goofy shit. Because y'all aren't doing any favors and there's no terms of endearment on that. And, Willow Nightingale, that's fine. Ruby Soho, fine. Soraya, fine. That's dumb. And Tay Mello is legit. She could actually hurt people. She was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu trained? But you're gonna clown her with a goofy ass name. Give me a fucking break. I don't like that at all. Samoa Joe versus Wardlow, and Samoa Joe retained his title after Wardlow passed out, after being choked out. So, all in all, was not a bad show. I guess there's always going to be stuff that can be improved. And look, you see botches on WWE, you see botches on AEW, you see botches on botches everywhere. When it's repetitive is when you have a problem. But anyway, let's talk about the All Atlantic Championship match. Because they really needed another mid-card title. I can't wait for them to bring up a light heavyweight and then a cruiserweight title as well. I'm really excited for this. Maybe they'll bring in a OWN network title as well. Can we get them on Oprah? The Oprah title, OWN. Let's go. So you ended up have Orange Cassidy pinned Trent after hitting the orange punch. Okay. So there we go. Kip Sabian versus Atiba. See, look, I talk about AEW and I start yawning. That's just horrible. No, it's okay. It's because I don't sleep. Let's see here. Kip clocked Atiba with the orange punch and then pinned Atiba. So we had 2 matches in a row ending with the orange punch, which is the Superman punch. Okay. TBS Championship match. Jade Cargill defeated Kiera Hogan. The main event for the evening was Swerve Strickland versus Wheeler Yuta. Swerve finished him off and pinned Wheeler Yuta. So was that not that? I guess that wasn't a championship match. But okay, you just had your champion essentially lose clean on national TV. But okay, sure. I guess that makes sense. The bad guys got to get away with what they can get away with. But either way, I mean, we're all caught up now on Rampage, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Raw because Raw kind of shifted into neutral. Last week's Raw was badass. It really was. It really was a great Raw. That was solid action from start to finish. And I had a bunch of stuff that I considered coming in, to talk about, but it just became the point of, do I have a lot of people who are interested in hearing this right now? Everybody's got Christmas and New Year's and all this other shit. And see, most people today are home and trying to sober back up so they can go back to work tomorrow. So, I got unlimited amounts of people just sitting there chilling, listening. So that's fine. Either way, it's been a good, solid 2022. I'm looking forward to 2023. And there's going to be a ton of stuff out there. Coming up, we got some new ways we're going to do some new things. With the Wrestling Wire, we got some new things we're going to be doing when it comes to Thursday night Indie Spotlight. We're going to try to keep as much moving forward as possible. That's going to be the hardest thing going on out there. What do I think about Sasha Banks in New Japan Pro Wrestling? She's making an appearance. Hey, Scott, I make appearances everywhere just to get paid. I don't know. Are they going to tolerate the amount of botches she's had in some of the matches she's done? I don't know if they're going to tolerate that. I don't know. I don't watch that much New Japan. But guess what? All these people talking about, her contract's been up and this. I don't know anything about her contract. You hear all this stuff, but I haven't seen a written form that says what anything is. So is she going to show up in AEW next? Who knows? I don't know. I'll be interested to see wherever she shows up at. Do I think that she was the same caliber draw as a Charlotte or a Becky? No, I don't. I don't think she was as big of a draw. I think she was a big draw, but I don't think she was as big of a draw as either of those two women. I would put her on the same level as Bianca Belair as being a draw. Actually, I'd probably put her above Bianca Belair. Alexa Bliss level draw. Yeah, I can see that. But that's what it boils down to. It's not about how much your contract is. It's return on investment. Y'all got to understand business. Not look, as a fan, you can say all kinds of things. As a fan, you can say all sorts of shit and just be okay. But when you're in it, you got to really step back and say things from a business perspective. And that's where I try to come from. Because guess what? This is a business. This podcast. This is a business. So you'll notice I may go off the rails and say some wild, crazy shit at times. Don't really say anything that's going to get me canceled. I have, I'm sure, but I don't now, or I haven't been canceled for it, so it's okay. Um, she put out a tweet about new beginnings. It's kind of cryptic. Okay, that's cool. I could put out a tweet that says new beginnings too. It's what's a tweet other than gaslighting? People use Twitter for gaslighting like crazy because Twitter's still very toxic. It didn't matter whether it was Elon Musk or not running it. It didn't matter. Twitter's just toxic. Period. Um, I don't really do. I do a little bit of very little Instagram. I'm predominantly a Facebook guy, but that's because the older people predominantly use Facebook. Um, but only the real ones. We use MySpace still. I've got all the different socials, the Hive, the Rumble, the everything. I still don't use this shit. It's great that it's there, but can't use everything. Um, as far as it goes, who cares? Let her go make money. Her problem. This is my honest opinion. My honest opinion is that because she did the Star Wars thing, she thinks she's worth even more money because of Star Wars. I hate to break it to you. Geek culture does, transition across. It's across the board. Comic books and wrestling and stuff like that. It does apply. However, however, the people that watched Star Wars didn't watch it because of her. They watch Star Wars because they love Star Wars anyway. Does that mean that they're going to follow her? You may modestly 15% maybe follow, but mostly it's already people that followed both that were like, "Oh, that's Sasha Banks and that's great and that's cool." I don't think that it really increased her star power that much being on Star Wars on the Disney network. Now, if it had been a Star Wars movie, maybe. Or if it was another big movie out there, another big comic movie out there, and she was on that, okay, possibly. Now I'm feeling more of the vibe, but not so much the Star Wars series thing that was there. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong, but I'm normally pretty close on these. So that's just my opinion, guys. I think that her head's a little bit too big. I think her ask is a little bit too high. I think that she was good in the ring. I think she was an attraction, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I believe she deserves this absorbent amount of money for what? I don't think she's got that right. And the other trick is this: when you've already walked out on that company once before and now again, and you want all this money to come back, mm-mm. You haven't proven to me that you're reliable enough to get paid that amount of money. This is a business. When you have people who will show up, have backups in case something happens on their way to show up to make sure they still show up. You showed up, got pissy, and left. That's not the same thing as the other. That's nowhere near the same thing in my book. That's dumb. I don't like it. I feel like that right there is this level of bullshit that they're no, you're too spoiled. In my book, she's acting spoiled. She's acting like a spoiled brat. Am I gonna care if she comes back? Oh, great, cool. I hope she does. Hope she does. Hope she comes back. I would still like to see the four horsewomen versus the four horsewomen, even though we can't see that because half of these are gone and this half has no story that brings them together. Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte, and uh, Becky has nothing that puts them together. The other four, some are no longer in WWE at all. I told y'all, I talked about AEW earlier, so now I can't stop yawning. But two of them are gone, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir. And Marina Shafir in AEW is doing the drizzling shits when it comes to work. It sucks. I feel so bad because she looked great in NXT. She looked really good in NXT. How did she go from that to this? I don't understand it. What happened? Is it the production? Is that different that you now are? There's no way. Or is it the agents? Is it the people booking or writing the matches out that are causing that issue? I don't know what it is. But what they do on AEW with her is the drizzling shits. What she did in NXT was fine. I liked her in NXT. I was like, dude, I can't wait for her to go to the main. Crash, just massive crash when it came to her being on AEW. I don't get it. I don't get how. I see better. I see better women perform locally than I do her. Frequently, frequently, I see better women perform locally than I do her. So you can take that for what it's worth. But my suggestion would be you take it for everything because that is my opinion, and I can prove it to you. I can introduce you to the women who can outperform her on a daily, and I can introduce you to women. And matter of fact, you can go see them on AEW Dark. They've been on AEW and worked. They still do better than she did. All of them. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand why. I wouldn't have said that when she was on NXT because when she was on NXT, she did fine. But you know what? Look, I've beat that dead horse enough. I really have. Um, what else we got, class? I know you guys got some more things to bring up and tell me, tell me about or tell me that something's broken or, anybody else you want to know about. Um, like I say, I think we were setting ourselves up for a good year of wrestling coming up here in 2023. Happy New Year to everybody once again. Um, but hopefully there's going to be some good stuff coming up. And, there's there's a lot of stuff going on out there that people are trying to get into or get out of. Look, pro wrestling as a whole is in a pretty good place. Realistically, if the NWA had a television deal, it would make more money and it would be more successful. I believe that the NWA product is better than the AEW product. I believe the Impact Wrestling product is as not as good as ECW was in its prime, but I believe its niche market is picking up. I believe they're picking up steam. Their storylines are decent. Their storylines aren't so convoluted you can't understand them. Uh, Bell to bell, action to action, Impact and AEW. I got to go with Impact, my opinion. Uh, but as far as production quality, AEW takes the cake on them. Nobody can touch WWE's production. Nobody, from top to bottom, from the start of the show, from the opening uh, video clip to when it goes out. I don't dislike Tyrus, but in my opinion, it's probably going to be Thomas Latimer is going to be the guy to beat him. That's my opinion. It's going to be Thomas Latimer that wins the NWA Gold next. I believe that Thomas Latimer, and that's only if he wants to stay. It's only if he stays. But I believe that Thomas Latimer is going to be the one to hold the NWA World's Heavyweight title next. And I'm okay with that. Thomas Latimer's fantastic wrestler. I watched him and Nick Aldis tear it up in Charlotte last year. And I mean tear it up. It was awesome. But as far as Tyrus goes, look, The smart thing for them to do, for NWA to do, find a sports network that's willing to make a deal with them. Probably not going to be Fox. Might be ESPN. I say it might be ESPN. Maybe. But if you could get coverage on ESPN 8 The Ocho, you'd be further ahead than what you got now. They don't need another product on TBS or TNT. Not at all. USA Network obviously is not going to touch it. They've got the WWE. What do they care? I don't think Fox Sports is going to pick it up. Bally Sports, maybe. Maybe Bally Sports would be interested in picking them up. But at the same time, if it was me, I would find a way to get Impact and NWA in a closer working relationship, which we know is not going to happen because they had a bad falling out. From what I understood, according to Billy Corgan, there was a working relationship. I don't think there is one any longer. I don't know how far they're going to go with that, but realistically, those two combined, that would even help NWA because it would get them on TV. Impact needs to be on a better channel. Ooh. And the NWA needs to be on television. Those are the only two things about it. AEW is fine where they are. WWE is great where they are. Impact and NWA need them come up and they need to get on something else. That's a very interesting statement there. That's not something that came out for the public. But anyway, so good Lord. But so, folks, that's pretty much all I've got. We talked about what happened this week. There was very little that happened beyond that. So here's to you. Here's hoping that we've got some good shit coming up this week. I'd love to have more to talk about with you fine folks next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you want to know what's coming up in the local indie scene, I'll see you Thursday night, 8 p.m. for the Thursday night Indie Spotlight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great one. It's been real. It's been fun. And hell yeah, it's been real fun. Thus pro